So today I want to share with you why Amazon's being a bitch and what you can do about it. So I just got off the phone with a consulting customer, and we spoke about all the things and all the changes that Amazon has done in the past year and even the time before that. And there's been pretty big changes. There's been it's become more and more clear that if you're selling on Amazon, that they are in control. So you are extremely dependent on them, and they use this in many ways. Some I'd say would even be illegal things that they pull off. That said, though, just on the way to my partner, we have an Amazon business together. We're selling around 200 products right now. We just finished December, and our best-selling product did, I think, 15,000 units in December only. So it went actually very, very well. The December went better than expected. But this is due to two things. One is that we have a great team that learned more and more how to deal with Amazon, especially when Amazon is being a bitch. But also we have a lot of kind of safety features in place, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that today. Whether you're still looking into Amazon, I don't want to discourage you, but I want to kind of help you to alter your expectations. And if you're already selling on Amazon, I also want to alter your expectations and talk to you a little bit to see maybe you find anything useful. Maybe you find that some of the safety features would be good for you too. So one of the things that we do, for example, is we're always afraid of the possibility that Amazon says that Amazon freezes accounts, freezes listings, or gets us in trouble in any other way. So what we do is that we create multiple companies. We have 3 companies right now, and with each of these companies we do separate listings for the same product, which is all our products, our own private label products. But we sell them as 3 different companies, and therewith we share our own buy box, right? So if one of the product listings gets frozen, or if one of the accounts get banned or blocked or whatever, we don't experience any loss, because the next listing is just taking over the buy box. That was one of our main security features that helped us a lot, because in the last 12 months we probably had the account or some of the account blocked or frozen at least 3 or 4 times. And so if you're looking for selling on Amazon to quit your job and use the income to feed your family, it can become a little bit inconvenient if Amazon freezes up your income. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about kind of what can happen, what you can do about it, what you can do to prevent all of this. When you're starting now, I don't mean that you have to, open several companies and then go the whole way. But there are certain things that you can do, and a certain way that you can see the Amazon business. Sorry, just gotta open the door. 谢谢。
哎，你好，去哪？
去那个不知道那个栋是3楼。
去哪一栋？
不知道怎么说，那个栋不是第一个，是第2个。
要不你给他打电话。
好，是我的朋友，是3楼的。
要确认房号。
我不知道他的房号。
那你给他打电话，那就。
Just had to stop the video there a second. The security guy didn't want to let me in. I'm just going to my partner's house. What I was about to say is that I don't want to discourage anyone. We are selling on Amazon, right? So we're not. I'm not saying it's not a good thing to do it, but I want you to be aware. So I want to share a few things that happened to customers of mine, that happened to our accounts, and just the power that Amazon has and what you can do about it. Because if your income is solely based on Amazon, you have a problem. And if they close down your account. So you always have to approach this whole Amazon thing not as an Amazon business, okay? There's no such thing as an Amazon business. Amazon should always just be a channel that you leverage. And especially when you're starting, you might say, Niels, well, look, this is a lot. Didn't even figure out how to source my product yet. Now you're telling me, there's even more than just to create the Amazon account. And I have to think about it as you're building a brand. It's not about you want to sell something on Amazon. It's all about you building a brand, building your influence, or build how to say that, you have to build a brand. Okay, you can't just be like you're just selling on Amazon, because if you build a brand, then you use Amazon as a channel, and you will be creating multiple channels where your customers flow through, where you have income through. So if one of these channels get blocked, you don't have a problem and you can still feed your family. It's quite important, isn't it? One of the things that we do, that we always do, even before we have the product sourced, is that when we found the product that we want to do, we look into the market and we look at who's the customer in that market that we want to serve. And then before we start our listing, we already create a landing page. We drive people through affiliate marketing to that page, and we get people to sign up to a digital product. I'll go more into depth later, but we let them sign up into a digital product that we give them, just so that we have their information. Because as soon as we have their information, we can, when we're ready to launch, we can just go, right? We can send them all to our Amazon listing once we're ready. But the problem is that you have to have kind of like a customer base or something that's off Amazon. It's great to leverage Amazon, but before you start there, you have to have some sort of customer base. It makes it so much easier when you launch your product and you already have people that you know are interested in your product, and you can sell it to them when you launch your product. So what I mean with that is, and I don't want to make it too complicated and go too deep into detail, but the strategy that we follow is that we look at who's the customer that we want to serve. And then we see how can we get that kind of customer something that he's really interested in. But we make that a kind of a digital thing, like an ebook or a video guide or an article to download or something like that. And we use ClickFunnels as a software for that, which makes it extremely easy to set this up. So don't worry about all of that now. So what we do is we look at what does a customer really want that we want to approach. So for example, if we're selling light bulbs, we sell those smart home light bulbs, then we look at what kind of customer do we want to attract, and then we look at people that are interested in smart home products, right? So before we even launch the product, we approach multiple people pretty much during the sourcing process. We approach different people that already have a following of people that we want to serve. What that means is YouTubers that already have a channel with a following. That can be Instagram, that can be bloggers, that can be anything really. It always depends on your space. It depends on your space, right? It can even be like a forum or something, right? But we look at where are the people that we want to sell our product to are hanging out. And then we look at, well, how do we get these people? So then we approach the owners of these groups and we make them an affiliate, so that first off, they post or we get in front of their audience with our free thing that we generated, which I think it was like a guide of the top 10 most affordable smart home products or something that we put together, which wasn't really hard. We hired someone to do that, and it wasn't a big investment. So we got that done, put it in front of the people sign up to it, and then we got out, I think we got 10 influencers or something like that, influencers, affiliate, however you want to call them, to actually promote our free offer, or our free ebook, which enabled us to collect over 1,000 email addresses within the time where the product was produced. So 1,000 people signed up to and left their email address, and then we followed up with them in weekly, like little posts, little messages about smart home products, just to keep them interested. And once we were ready to launch our product, then we pushed it out and we say, hey, now our product is live, and then we were able to promote it every week to our following, right? But then the product was there, so we used that pool of people to get our first reviewers, to get to increase our ranking. We told these people how to buy our product so that our ranking goes up in the first days already. And we made to sell, I think we averaged around 15 or 20 a day in the first month, just through that. Like there was no external traffic, no PPC, nothing like that. And then now I think around Christmas time, we did around 300, 400 a day. So it took a couple of months to get there, but it's so important that you build out that base and that flow of customers, and you always have that, because what happens is that Amazon might freeze your listing for no apparent reason, and they basically, their algorithm can freeze your things, their algorithm can interact and shut you down or a competitor can file a complaint about you, whether that's right or not, it doesn't matter, right? Amazon first shuts you down, and then you have to go back and prove it. And when you prove it, sometimes it takes weeks of going back and forth with Amazon to sort this all out, right? And I don't want to discourage you. We sell on Amazon obviously ourselves. We're doing well on the platform, but we also heavily promote through other ways, right? Because now when our product launched, we reached out to our affiliates and we sent them to our own websites, to our own online shops, to our own funnels, to our own Amazon listings. Then once we had the product, now we have all these contacts of people that are promoting our product for us, right? So they're getting a commission, or they got a one-time payment or something, but they ensure that even if Amazon frees the listing, our income doesn't stop, right? And I mean, obviously we're spread out over a couple of products we're in so many different markets now. But at the point where I just started, I had the same issue. Amazon froze my account and I had a problem because my sales stopped, my income stopped. So I wasn't sure how can I provide for myself, how can I provide for my girlfriend, how can I provide anything. Like if the income stops, you have a problem. And since then, my customers have reported so many things that Amazon lost their inventory, that Amazon didn't pay out the money, that Amazon froze the account, that Amazon had so many little things where it's become so oriented to give the best experience for the user, for the buyer, that the seller is a bit neglected, right? So if you're the seller rather than the buyer, you have a problem with that, because the best experience for the buyer means the best price in Amazon's eyes, right? There were cases where Amazon limits the sales price, where they say, well, now you have to sell your product for half the price. Now in December, we have to cut you're not be able to increase your prices anymore. And all these things that Amazon is becoming more and more a little bitch. And I don't want to be too harsh, but it's really true. There's been so many cases where customers have sued Amazon, where things getting a bit tricky. So if you have the right securities in place and if you have the right things, it shouldn't be a problem. But that's the reason why we have multiple accounts. Again, I'm not saying you have to start that way, but you have to have a bigger goal in mind. You cannot just rely on Amazon. And I know that this is all a lot like Niels. Now there's another thing I have to do, like got to figure out the sourcing, got to figure out the Amazon thing, and then I got to figure out another thing because the Amazon thing might not be as reliable. Like, I understand that, and it's a lot, right? And that's, for example, why I think that the sourcing process is something you shouldn't even do yourself. You shouldn't even be involved in that process, because in the time when your product is being sourced and produced and shipped, that's the time when you have to build your audience, when you have to start building out your little brand, right? Creating a different flow of income and of customers or potential customers in the future. You have to be able to do that, and the best time to do that is in the time when your product is being produced. So we always recommend you to have sourcing agents that help you in the process. We always recommend you to have the help, to take the help of an agent, because they do everything for you. They get you a better price. They take all the workload off your shoulder, right? So the question though is, how do you find a reliable agent? How do you make that work? So if you go below in the comments here, there are a couple of things I have for you. The very first thing is a free training on how to sell on Amazon, or how to find a product to sell on Amazon, because that might be the very first hurdle for you. Then I have a training on how to find your supplier, and that training includes how to find a reliable sourcing agent. And that is cheaper than if you go out for a pizza. Okay, so you can just head over there, it's in the links. Then I have a free web class for you, how to do the whole sourcing process without getting screwed by Alibaba suppliers. And so make sure to check out all of these things, to share this video, to post your questions below, and see, maybe you already have heard something about, the things that Amazon pulls. Maybe you have heard anything about what's someone else who has been kind of screwed by Amazon, or who had a problem, who was facing an issue with that. And what are your thoughts about creating another flow of customers, creating your brand versus just having an Amazon business? Leave me comments below. What do you think about the process? Is it too much? Do you think we're a little bit that there's too much involved to get started now? Do you think you'll rather turn to another opportunity? Or what is your thought process? Leave me everything in the comments, and I'll catch you another time. Cheers.